wow. This podcast suddenly feels a lot more great. I know that wasn't grammatically correct, but I don't care. I don't care at all. But hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Today, on this occasion, I'm drinking some coffee, but what else is new for me? It's just vanilla today. Just vanilla. Tantalizing vanilla, I think, is literally what the coffee creamer I use is called. Because Violife is one of those weird brands where everything is like tantalizing or seductive or whatever. And I'm like, okay, y'all, I just want coffee creamer. Let me have my lentil milk coffee creamer, please. But I've also, as always, got my cup mug on hand, ready per usual. David doesn't, apparently. But you can get yours at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below. And we do ship internationally, so there are no excuses. Brazil, we're still trying. I'm so sorry. Blame the customs. That's not us. Sorry.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I had to bring this one out again. I'm wearing my Alexander the Great shirt.
Oh my goodness. I wonder why that would be the case.
And I'm just drinking water.
Incredible. I'm Alexander the Great from King of Drag, and I'm so happy to be here.
Oh,
Yay.
We're so happy to have you. Alexander the Great is here.
And
I don't know why I went. Oh, good. I don't know why I went musical theater there for a second, but I did.
I love it.
Alexander the Great is here. Regular coffee today, Alexander?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Right.
yes. My evening coffee, yes.
My afternoon coffee, so I'm with you.
Yes.
Oh, Alexander, we're so happy to have you here today.
Yay, thanks for having me.
Of course.
It's too soon, though.
I might agree. King of Drag, how dare you? How dare you rob us of many more episodes with this beautiful, beautiful king on our screens.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Revry.
say, I'm sorry to interrupt. I do like to tell people not to spoil anything, but this finale is different than what is done on other shows. So those of us who have exited actually have kind of a bigger part in the finale, and you'll actually see all of us present multiple looks.
Yay!
So
good.
I'm technically only out for 2 episodes, which really is not that. I mean, it's just going to go by.
And I've already watched one of them, so I only have to suffer through one less episode now.
So rest assured, I will return to your screen. So will all the other exited kings. So
that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Okay, great. Well, we're so happy to have you here today. We're going to talk to you about you.
Oh my God.
How good.
Crazy.
Love it. Great. Before we do that, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. And currently, that's a lot of King of Drag. We are now at half the cast has joined us. I believe I didn't go to fucking school for math, but I think that's half.
Mm-hmm.
5 out of 10 is half.
Yep. 5 out of 10. It's been a long day. 5 out of 10 is half the cast. So you can join us for our lovely interviews with all of the cast that we have had on so far for King of Drag, and all of our beautiful recaps of King of Drag so far, as well as all of our other drag recaps that we have done on the channel for All Stars 10, Drag Race Brazil, and Drag Race France. All of those are available on the channel as well. You can check out the description below as well, where you can find our audio podcast links, our other channels, our Patreon, our social media, where you can follow Alexander on Instagram as well. Go follow him, go tip him, go support him. If you are in Austin, go see him, go tip him in person, go support him, go do all the things, get his merch like David did, do all the things. All of those links are down in the description below. So, Alexander, let's talk to you about you. I want to know, because we heard a little bit about your drag origins on the show, but I want to know, when did you start doing drag? What inspired the name Alexander the Great beyond, the man from history? I'm going to say maybe might have had a little bit of an influence, maybe, and also beyond, Alexander being your name. But I want to know the full drag origin. How did that come to be?
Yes, great question. I started drag at like age 24, 25. 34, so I was 24. I had been working as a burlesque dancer in the local scene for a couple of years, and was dating a drag king at the time who had done drag in college. There used to be a drag king troupe in Austin called Kings and Things, but they disbanded in 2015. And the person that I was dating wanted to get back into drag kinging, but there was literally no place for it in Austin, and nobody was booking kings. He had been trying for months to get booked as a king, and then I was like, what's this king, what's this kingery? Maybe I can like help you with it. Like, so I used Tumblr, the year is 2015, used Tumblr to like draw in a beard for the first time, and I was like, oh my god, this is it, this is amazing, this is what's been missing. So I was like, I want to be a drag king. So I helped my my ex, or my partner at the time, found, it was his idea, but I was like kind of his little like muscle man because I had been working in the local performance community. And we co-founded the Boys of Austin together. Austin's now still only drag king performance troupe. And the very first time I ever performed on stage as a drag king was at my first drag king show that I was also co-producing, which is like little bit next level.
Right?
Just throw yourself in the deep end. I kind of love that. I love that.
Yes, but the good thing about that is that it means I've like kind of been in charge of myself and my career from the beginning, which also that meant that there were shows that I made like $11, but I made it myself, okay?
Yeah.
Or we made it ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was in the beginning, we were just having fun. We were just playing with gender. But then we realized, oh, this is kind of like actually a thing. We started like connecting with others, and my drag did not look anything like this for years. Like they would show pictures on King of Drag, like of like they showed one of the pictures was that show that I'm talking about, the very first time I was in drag. It's like I'm wearing like a whisper of an essence of a thought of makeup. Like it's like I'm like, oh, Alexander, I'm wearing like leggings, like just clothes that I already had, like, which like bless. It's like the beauty of drag kings is that it's like we're gonna pull what we have out of our closets. We're gonna make this happen, and we're still serve and deliver, and you're gonna love it. And it might be a pair of socks in our pants, but it's gonna deliver the fantasy.
Because I can relate, because the first go-go gig I did was also the first gig that I helped produce. So like I feel that energy for sure. And so it was like I did not know what I was doing whatsoever. But I relate because like, and I feel that energy because I was like, baby, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm still going to get up here and do my absolute best. So I get it. I absolutely get it.
Yeah. And I had a lot of help and guidance from like the burlesque community and some queens who did support us along the way in our journey. Not all drag queens, but some of them. And I'm very grateful for those who did and the venues that supported us. But yeah, so my drag was just kind of very just like fun. Like the first song I performed to was like Thank God for Girls by Weezer. Like it was very, and that would never be something that is in my repertoire now. It's evolved, and I've figured out exactly who I am and the story that I want to tell and what my drag means to me now, which kind of ties into your Alexander the Great question, which, yes, of course, Alexander the Great, like the conqueror. One thing that I love to highlight about him, and I like to joke that my name is Alexander the Gay, and I'm like, oh, I mean, great, is that Alexander the Great, like he was actually like queer, and like a lot of people maybe don't realize, but he had like a lifelong boyfriend, Hephaestion, that I think I'm saying that right, that he like loved, literally to the point to where he had like his people like build a giant statue of his boyfriend, and then when his boyfriend passed away, Alexander literally died of like a broken heart / alcoholism 6 months later. Like he loved this man, and people like don't like he had it.
I love ancient history,
but I'm like, it was so gay, and so I love that. And also like I'm just a tiny fun-sized bean of a man, and so like Alexander the Great, like when people see me online, they're like, oh my god, yeah, this big person, you know, whatever, and then they see me in person, and my driver's license says 5'3". That might not actually be true. It's like 5'2" and like 3. So it's 5'2", like 3/4. And so it's a play on just like me and like Alexander the Great, and also just like I'm like I might be a little bean, but it's great. Look at me, you know, it's fun. So it's kind of it's a nod to the original, but it's highlighting his queerness and also like my own play on my own name, which is, Alexander. So yeah.
That makes sense. Well, one of my favorite questions to ask the people from your cast. So with drag queens, everybody has their diva, like your Cher, your Madonna, Britney, whoever. But I'm very curious for you, who is your like male pop icon figure that you look up to?
Yes, hands down, Freddie Mercury. Just love his energy on stage, like watching his videos, his music. Also love Elton. I saw Elton the very last concert he ever did in Texas, like right before he stopped touring. Just like his costumes, Elton's costumes, I love, and also his stage presence and his story. So I think Freddie Mercury would be my number one, but Elton would be like a close second. Yeah.
Both great choices. I can see them.
Always great choices.
Yes.
Always great choices. I loved finding out on the show that you were a city council member in Austin. I mentioned it on the podcast, but I remember because when the cast came out, I was like, okay, the reason that I followed you on Instagram originally was because I remember you being a part of all of the big Austin drag ban conversations with, her name is Bridget, and I don't remember her last name.
Yeah, Bridget Bandit. She's one of my great friends, one of my closest friends.
Because it was you and Bridget Bandit, and I remember you two being so prolific in all of that. But being both a drag king and a city council member, those are a unique duo of titles to hold. I want to know, how does that work for you in Austin within the drag scene? Like, how does that balance for you, and how do you find that being within the Austin drag scene?
Yeah, so I'm a commissioner. I serve on the LGBTQ commission, which serves Austin City Council. So unpaid position. And Bridget is also a commissioner with me. So I've been serving, going on 2 years now. But it's amazing because in our commission meetings, like it's super legit. Like we follow like Robert's Rules of Order, and we have like little microphones. We push a button and speak into, and like it's broadcasted, and like we, have to have a quorum and follow the rules and like all that stuff. But we're able to like last year, within like my first 3 or 4 months, we were able to pass what the community refers to as the Trans Sanctuary City Now protections. So basically, we wrote out these resolutions that helped to protect trans people in Austin as anti-trans legislature advances at the state level. But there's ways around it, which again are like these protections. So essentially, we wrote this resolution to deprioritize police activity against trans people. So basically, Austin Police Department has to go and like write tickets for all of the stolen bicycles before they try to arrest a trans person for being a trans person. So we had them deprioritize it to where like they will never have time, they will never get to action against trans people. And that was like something really cool that like we got to work on and took a lot of time and effort and months. But then we presented that to City Council, and then City Council voted to pass it. But that was all the work done in my commission. And then we just essentially handed a piece of paper to City Council and said, please pass this. And they said, okay. So like, it's one of those things where it's like the real work gets done in the commissions. But it's fantastic because I have a literal direct line, like to the community. Like I'm in the clubs, I'm trans, I'm gay, like I'm connected to the community directly. And then I'm also directly connected to Austin City Council and the people who can make change for the community. I feel like for years I kind of spun out like wanting to do something and not knowing how I could do anything, screaming into the void, whatever. And then I was told for years, you should apply to be a commissioner, I finally did it. And I was like, oh, let me just channel all of my rage into this really long meeting where we're having to write all of these like legal terms to come up with this resolution that we can pass. Yes. And it's great. It's so good. So yeah, we actually have a commission meeting next Monday. So yeah.
Nice. That's cool. I do want to fast forward a few years up though to I want to know how you felt when you found out about King of Drag, and even more specifically, how did you feel when you found out you got cast for King of Drag?
Oh my gosh. So what was crazy about King of Drag is that they announced that the show was happening the exact same time that the application was open. And was closing within 2 weeks. So like Variety magazine like put out the article that was like Murray Hill King, and then it was like, by the way, here's the application. By the way, it closes in 2 weeks.
Oh, no.
So
No time to waste.
Yes, it was one of those things where like there are so many people who would be fantastic for the show. However, if you weren't ready, it was like do or die within those two weeks. I just so happened to have 2 weeks off from my day job for the holidays, and I had gone through the audition process previously for other shows, and so I knew what I was like, oh, this isn't my first rodeo, cowboys. And so it was one of those things where I could not be more grateful, but the stars aligned for me, got my application in within like a day or two of the deadline closing. But I was flabbergasted. Like, I just couldn't believe that this was a thing that was happening. It seemed to just come out of the blue, and also to come at a time when like we really needed it. Like Trump had just like announced that he won the election. And so it was like, oh God, we're spiraling into like this another horrible alternate but then it was like, oh wait, but now we're gonna have drag kings on TV. So it was like,
right.
Hey, the world really is crazy. So that was like, I couldn't believe it. So I was really excited that I was able to actually get my application and all that good stuff. And then fast forward to getting my final callback, I was like, oh crap, this might actually happen. Like, this might actually be a thing. And they told us 220 people applied. They did 40 final callbacks, and then they selected the 10 of us. And my dear friend Cynthia Lee Fontaine gave me some great advice last summer. Yes, love her.
I love Cuckoo.
Love Cuckoo, because I had auditioned for other shows previously. She was like, they want personality. Like, yes, you have the talent and the look and whatever else. She was like, just give them personality. So I had a much different approach to my audition for King of Drag. And I tell Cynthia we were messaging each other, and we were texting. We were literally like, we got eliminated 2 days apart within each other. Like, how beautiful. Like, no, literally, isn't that crazy? Like, both of us representing Boston on TV at the same time, get eliminated 2 days within each other. And
neither of you should have been eliminated. I stand by. I did, and I will stand by that.
But I will say, like, y'all don't need to worry about, like, Cynthia and I, we have big, bright futures ahead of us. But she gave me the advice to like give them personality. So so I had a different approach, and I was like, okay, gonna give them all this personality. And so it was one of those things that was they either hated me or they loved me, and I could not tell. I was like, they're either gonna be like, get away from us, do not ever apply to this show ever again, or they're going to be like, yes, please. And so fast forward, I was at work, got the email that I was cast on the show, just got to work at my day job. Mind you, I have 8 hours in the office. I grab my phone, I sprint out of the office. Like, you could have thought that my house was on fire, because I needed to call my mom. I needed to call my partner. I just ran out of the office, and I'm like outside in the parking lot being like, ah! My coworkers are like, is everything okay, Alexander? And I'm like, the world is great. Everything is great. Yes. So it was just unbelievable. I still sometimes like can't believe it, but also at the same time, the 10 of us have like, through our bond, we're like, this is right. Like, I don't know, the 10 of us, we're like such a fun cocktail of kings. Like I don't know. I love us, but that's just me.
We do too.
We do too.
So yeah, that's how it felt. It was amazing.
I love it. And I love that you said like the right cocktail of kings, because it really felt that way. And when we saw the cast and then getting to see like the first couple of episodes, what I loved the most, being non-binary myself as well, is seeing all of the trans representation and like seeing how gender diverse this cast was.
Yes.
So when you walked in, like how amazing was it to just see all of the trans representation, to see how gender diverse the cast was, even as far as like Murray Hill being the host? Like, how cool of an experience was that for you to walk in and be like, oh, this is such a cool cocktail of kings, as you said. Like, how cool was that?
That I was like, the first day was the best day. Like episode 1, all of us getting there. Like I don't think I've ever been happier. Like, it was just like getting to see all of us and then be like, oh my God, like seeing Perka's look, and Henlo was in like in their look and was like smiling at me like a crazy person. And I was like, oh my, who? I was like, because I didn't realize Henlo recognized me from DragFest 2019, but I didn't recognize Henlo. So Henlo's like, oh my God, but I'm doing the same thing to Perka. I'm staring at Perka like a crazy person because I've been following Perka online for years, like since he started drag, but we hadn't actually ever met. And so Perka's kind of looking at me like, this cowboy giving me, but I'm just like, ah. So it was so cool because of course we speculated. We had no idea who the judges were going to be. We had no idea who the other contestants were going to be. I was really hoping I was not the only Texas king because Texas drag is so big and vast and diverse and really, really, really good. So that was one thing I was panicking about is I was like, I'm probably the only Austin king, which I will gladly take. But I was like, please let there be a Dallas king, a San Antonio king, a Houston king. And I was having my fingers crossed for Buck because Buck is a legend. And then when we saw each other, we both did this little like, oh, you number to each other. It was so great. So yeah, it was so correct. Like it just and it translates, which is so nice. I mean, of course it was going to, but I love that people can be a part of that with us because it's our space, but it's our space for us to all dwell in. So
yeah, I was going to ask who you recognize from the cast, but it sounds like we got the answer there. So I'm wondering, who did you immediately connect with once you all got to the man cave for the first time?
Oh gosh. Well, I will say like, because of like, I'm sure y'all already know about like, we had roommates. Okay. So because of like our roommate situation, we were already like kind of like bonding with like our roommates. So I will say like initially like DVD and I, who DVD was my roommate, we were like more like kind of like buddies, like going like throughout the competition, but really like by like day 2, I feel like I was like just like obsessed with I was obsessed with everyone day 1, but like by day 2 I felt really kind of comfortable with everyone. Then I feel like by day 3 week 3 we were like all just super bonded, especially like talking about like our trauma and horrors, like yeah. And it's still really cool now because I'm sure y'all know like we have like a little group chat and like we have a video chat like once a week that like we all meet and catch up with each other. And it's just, yeah, it's amazing to be able to like have this experience, but also know that like we're going to carry it with us forever. And King of Drag will continue. Hopefully we'll get seasons 2, 3, 4, All Stars, which I'm going to be there, and so on. So, yeah.
I want nothing more than more seasons of this because let it be known, this show is so good. I mean, we've been saying it now for 3 episodes, and the cast assessment and every other video that we've done for it on this channel, like it's just such a good show because the production is good. The kings are incredible. Like it really is the perfect cocktail of kings for this first season. Like it's just, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah. Now you did start very strong in that first episode. That boy band challenge was so good. And we know, seeing you on social media prior to the season, like love seeing you perform, love seeing you in that element. Were those the kinds of challenges that you expected to thrive in the competition?
Yes. So like day 1, knowing that we were doing boy band challenge, I was like, okay, I have got to just do my best today because we got the competition packet, so we knew what to prepare for. So I was already nervous for horror week. I knew that my celebrity impersonation wasn't the best, but because they didn't tell us the order. We had no idea what order we would be doing anything in. So I was just praying horror was just never going to happen, or it was just going to happen like later. But I was just like, give us the prom episode because I'll slay in the prom episode. I will slay in the boy band challenge. Like I knew that there were things that I was going to thrive in. So when they told us that week 1 was going to be this challenge, I was like, all right, Alexander, you have got to serve right here, right now. So I did my best.
And you did great.
Thank you. But that's also like, that's one of my strong suits. So I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fabulous.
Mm-hmm. But in episode 2, we saw you unfortunately go to the bottom with your Justin Bieber impersonation during the Dong Show. So I'm wondering if now that you've had time to sit on that, are there any things that you wish you could change? Maybe adding humor to it. I think that was something that they critiqued you for. Wasn't funny enough. I don't know.
Yes, no, I would do everything differently. Because the fun thing I love about King of Drag is like we didn't have a previous season to study like they do in other shows where they literally memorize what happens in every single episode and they know like the lip sync, like we didn't have that. We literally had a packet of paper. And so it was one of those things that as it's unfolding, I'm realizing, oh God, I planned for a celebrity talent show. My celebrity, you knew who I was. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was undeniably Justin Bieber. My talent, the fact that Sasha Velour was like, you got too much talent. You brought too much talent to the talent show. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I brought too much talent.
I'm so sorry. Huh?
And then I was like watching Big D perform. It was like dropping acid. It was like my mind expanded and blew open. And I was like, oh. And like you see it like happening on my face, like as Murray's like having me talk to the judges that I'm realizing like, oh, me sideways like this.
Yeah.
But again, like and they told us it was like comedy week, but again, it was like, it's a celebrity talent show. So I was like, what are we doing celebrity? Are we doing talent? Are we doing comedy? Like they really kind of threw a lot at us and I did my best with what I thought, but I was really glad that I was safe. I was grateful for that, but it blew my mind open as far as like comedy, and I'm going to be taking classes from Big D. I loved what everyone brought. Like we were laughing so hard that day, and I would do everything differently. And I learned so much from my castmates.
Would you? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised Cynthia didn't suggest doing Dracula.
Not too much.
Right, LOL.
Not too much.
Bless the Dracula babes. I could never.
Right. I'm like, bless them. Just, well, I wanna touch on something you brought up kind of throughout the whole King of Drag experience, which I love hearing from a drag king specifically, because when we hear from drag kings, a lot of the times it's aesthetic wise, we hear them wanting to be a little bit more masculine, and like everything is about almost hyper masculization or some form of being very masculine. Mm-hmm. And I loved that throughout the process of seeing you on King of Drag, you talked about adding glamour and glitter and wanting to be a little bit more androgynous and adding kind of feminization to your king aesthetic. I want to know, like, what inspired that? How did that? We heard a little bit of it on the show, but I want to know, like, how did that process? Like, how did you add that to your king process?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I feel like in the early days, like learning drag king from Tumblr, it was like contour your muscles, draw the facial hair, all that. But I like growing up in competitive dance, like I grew up with rhinestones. I loved Betsy Johnson. Let me just love my sparkle and glitter. Let me just be a gay boy that loves my sparkle and glitter. And it's one of those things where I'm like, men, just like women, come in all different shapes, sizes, forms. Like there are cis men who can't grow facial hair. There are, cis men with hormone imbalance, like cis men who take testosterone. And so I'm like, y'all, like we need to be playing. We need to remember that masculinity is, and so like so much bigger and wider. And so I feel confident being able to play on like the glamour king end of the spectrum or androgynous or whatever, because there is something empowering about it. Like I like being able to like show off like my top surgery while like having my lashes on and like my rhinestones. Like there's something about like, no, I'm still masculine, fully identify as a man, male, gay dude, but this is my man. This is my manness. And detoxifying masculinity, which is what we need to do to basically just fix all the problems in the world. That's how we do it. We make sure men know that they can exist in all forms and it's okay to be vulnerable and sparkly and cry and sensitive and fabulous.
Absolutely. There is something so empowering in, like, in my case, like being very mask presenting and then wearing like rhinestones and like having that kind of like empowerment of like embracing femininity in that way. And that was something that I had a big. It took me a long time to kind of come to terms with that, and so seeing you on the show, I was like, I see myself in you a lot, like understanding that experience and understanding like, and being non-binary as well. I always kind of fall into that weird space of like, okay, and being so mask presenting still, I'm always like, okay, but where does the balance fall? And I'm like, who needs a balance? Like, why does it matter?
Yes.
Well, like, why does it matter? Who does it matter to?
Right.
Why do I feel like I need to do that? And so just thank you for acknowledging and making sure that regardless of who people are or what, like where they fall on the gender spectrum, like people recognize that masculinity and femininity for that matter come in all shapes, sizes, and spectrums, and that regardless, you can represent yourself and be who you are at any space, and it's valid, and it should be shown. And you helped a lot in helping me recognize that. So thank you.
Yay. Thank you. Yeah, that's why I love my peacock look and my beta fish look, because I'm like, nature, let's look at nature and let's look at males in nature. Come on, you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think I can speak for most of our panel when I say that episode 3 was our favorite so far.
Yes.
We just found the Death of Your Fears challenge to really open the doors for all of you to be very vulnerable and open with struggles and actual fears, and not just things like snakes or rats or whatever.
Right.
But I am curious how it felt in the moment with you really putting yourself out there with your fears and your concern for the environment, and having the panel not understand it. I'm wondering how that felt in the moment.
Yes. I did know that I was going conceptual, but so were the other kings. Like Mo's was also extremely conceptual. So I think I was taking comfort in the fact that I wasn't the only one kind of going high concept. But yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, maybe, I could have done things better, differently. But the whole point, which I said this on the stage during feedback, but it was edited out. But I made that costume entirely from fabrics and materials that I already had. And so I guess the judges were wanting it to be more like, maybe have like different fabric. But I was like, the whole point of this is that I'm terrified of what we are doing to the environment, and we're accelerating it by consuming fast fashion and the microplastics and everything that is now piling up that we are also guilty of as drag artists, ordering costumes on Amazon, the week before a gig, whatever else. So it's one of those things where it's like, we do have control and have a voice, and like, we're in Texas, like we lose, like people die because of climate change. Like we just lost people, over 100 people in the July 4th flood. So like we have been living the effects of climate change already where I live. And so to hear them not understand, and even like on the stage when I was able to kind of like bring them into it, like it did feel a little bit dismissive. I understand, of course, like they had everyone else's fears to take in, but I was just like, well, that's what happens to the environment. These problems get swept under the rug or not understood or whatever. And that's why we're in the position that we're in. But I was grateful that I got to bring the look to the stage. So,
Yeah. And I know we were also pretty upset. At first, we were like, of all episodes that had to be a double elimination, why this one?
Come on now.
But actually, after our interview with Pressure K, and I thought about it more, I'm like, you know what? I could see how it could be kind of healing, not going through that alone. You had somebody that you went through that process with. And I know that was helpful for Pressure K. So I'm wondering if it was also helpful for you.
No, literally, I do not think I could have been like eliminated by myself. Like I tell Pressure, I was like, we also like made history because we're the first double elimination on a drag king reality show. So I was like, no, honey, like they couldn't take us out one by one. They had to get two giants, two birds, one stone with the two of us. So there was something that is like so comforting about being like, well, you also took out Pressure, so you probably feel silly about eliminating the both of us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we signed up for. But yes, it's amazing to have Pressure as my team.
I love that too, because I like yes, you two made history with that. And I also love that you two could not be more different. Like, could not be, like, I could not put two other competitors on this show together that are more different to then be the twins that go home.
Funny.
Like, it feels like Drag Race season 5 with Vivian Panay and Honey Mahogany. Like, y'all could not be more different as drag kings. And the fact that both of you went home together, it's like, it feels so perfect in that way.
Yes.
And then for the final thrust to be what it was, and for both of you to just have very iconic exits.
Yes.
Refreshers, like, I knew I shouldn't have smoked the bad weed. And for you to go out being not the Texas GOP. I love every single moment of it. That was fun. Incredible. It was so good. Like all three of y'all did such a good job in that final thrust too. Like it was, and how was it to go out with that kind of like with the death scene too? Like how was that experience?
Honestly, that challenge was really, really fun. Like there was actually like a whole thing where we were like guiding a camera person around, and the camera person had like a back spot, and then like the monsters that were running around scaring us were all of the other kings. So I was like, all my castmates are my little monsters. So it was actually, I was like, wait, this was actually like really fun. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, even though your experience on King of Drag wasn't necessarily what you wanted it to be, Alexander, I do want to know, what did you learn the most, both about Alexander the Great and Alexander the Man? What did you learn about them the most?
Yes. So, as I mentioned, I've auditioned for other competition shows previously, because another big thing about my drag and like being an advocate is fighting to exist in spaces that we should be allowed to exist in, and knowing that there's no reason that we shouldn't be in those spaces other than they just don't want us there because we look different. And so I was just like, I'd always told myself, seeing other drag competition shows on TV, I'm like, if I just had the chance, if kings, if trans men, if AFAB people, like if we just had the chance, we could do this. And so a part of me was like, but can I do, like, am I just talking a bunch of mess? Like, can I actually do this? And so going through it was like, no. And I'm like, of course we can do that. I was like, of course we can do. So it was like, but it was something that I needed to know for myself, because we've been left out of these spaces for so long. So it was like, wait, is there actually a reason that we can't do this? And then doing it, it's like, oh wait, no, there's not. And by doing that, it just shows everyone else that we can do this. We did just do this. And also people who see themselves reflected in me and like who identify with me and my drag, like, that's like, that gives me my like go-go juice, like for life. Like that's exactly what this is all about. So yeah, I think it was like one of those things where it was like, whoa, like life goal, like check mark thing, because I never thought I would have this opportunity. Like it popped out of the blue. Like what?
Yeah.
Drag kings doing drag competition, like crazy. So yeah, it's definitely like big, crazy life goal check mark. And then as Alexander, this has been a big test on my mental health, and there have been rough days, not gonna lie, but also like incredible days, because just like the expansiveness of this experience, like there's nothing that can prepare you for it. Like there's like, they can tell you like, and you can, read books and train, whatever, but it's like, you just have to be thrown into this and just pray that like your support system and the tools that you have are, gonna work for you. And so I feel like I've been in a good place, like especially like very recently, and that feels good, because it's also one of those things that I didn't know if I could do before. I was like, can my mental health survive this? So it was like, can my drag persona actually do this competition, the challenges? Like I've been talking shit like I could. And then can me, Alexander the human, can I actually mentally make it through this? And we did. So that was like, yay.
Good. I love it.
I think one of my favorite things to think about when it comes to this first season is just with like Drag Race, how that first season of Drag Race, it was like kind of a snowball effect. It just inspired more and more and more future drag queens. And you know what? People are going to be watching this and they're going to be like, I want to be like Alexander. I want to go out there and be a king. So setting the benchmark for this show with the first season. You should be extremely proud, and I just know that it's going to have a huge impact on the drag king community. So
thank you.
Yes, but I wanted to give you an opportunity because I know that you're a very busy king. So I wanted you to take this time to plug anything you have coming up, any merch or social media. Just tell people what's going on with Alexander.
Yes. Well, we're currently doing watch parties for King of Drag in Austin, Texas, if you're in Austin. And then, I've got my merch available on my store. I've got like totes, coffee mugs, shirts. David is so wonderfully modeling one of my shirts. They come in different colors. We're still out here trying to, work, get the King of Drag name out here, get drag kings out here. This show has been amazing, but it's literally just the beginning. So it's like, okay, now more of the nitty gritty work begins. So I'm grateful for any support. I do on my Instagram, which I know y'all have. I've got my link tree. It's got my Cameo, my Patreon, my digital tip jars, and my merch website. So anything is appreciated. Any support is appreciated. And just follow on Insta, come to a show sometime, and I will hopefully be traveling around. I'm not going to speak for the other kings, although hopefully them too. Hopefully we'll all be traveling around in the future to see more folks around the places and the things.
The places and the things in the world and everything in between. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Alexander, you're a delight. We knew you were, but this has been so good. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for chatting with us, and thank you for just being an absolutely great, incredible star, because you are.
Thank y'all for watching, and thank y'all for all of the love and support. Like, truly, like, we're so gagged. We're like, oh my God, people are watching the show. Oh my God.
Yes. Not only are we watching, but we're talking and we're critiquing and we're giving love and criticism where needed, but it's always with love, and that's what we do here. So
yes, amazing.
We're so happy to have you here. Come back anytime. You're Cup family now. So anytime you want to come on to talk about literally anything, you are welcome back.
Oh my God. I'll take y'all up on that. Thank you.
Period. Well, make sure, if you are not already following Alexander, what are you doing? Hello. If you made it to the end of this video and you haven't already followed Alexander, go do it. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. We're trying to hit 1,000 new subscribers across all of our channels by the end of the year. Y'all are putting in your big ones over here. So thank you very, very much. King of Drag fans are doing the dang thing here. So we appreciate it very, very much. The King of Drag fans have been coming through for King of Drag and for us, so we really appreciate it.
No, they're amazing.
They're incredible.
They passed the vibe check. Like, we love our little kings.
We were talking beforehand, and like the global watch parties for King of Drag have been incredible. The viewership on our channel has been incredible for King of Drag. Like, we really, really appreciate it as well. So thank you. You can check out the description below where you can find all of our links, our social media links at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow all three of us down below. Go tip Alexander, support Alexander, get the merch, do all the things that he already talked about. You can go get our merch as well, lanagcreations.etsy.com. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, but y'all should go check out another video while you're at it, including all of our King of Drag recaps and interviews. That will be linked in the playlist at the end. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So go have an Alexander the Great day. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.